Okay. Can the organization let us know if we are already online and if the webinar is already accessible to the public?
Hello, Claire. It's Oonagh here. So just to keep you informed, yes, you're already live and you may now start. You have exactly 1 hour.
Okay. Thank you very much for the information. We are missing actually Oonagh. We are still missing Oonagh.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello, Oonagh.
I'm here. Sorry, you just can't see me.
It's no problem. So we are already on live, Oonagh, and then the public is already seeing us. So hello to the public, hello to all of you, and thank you for your participation. So today we are going to discuss together about customer experience and tech integration across luxury and hospitality in a fast-changing landscape. This is our topic for this discussion. But before we start, I would like to maybe to introduce myself rapidly and also introduce you to the participants which are online and with us today, because we have with us Alexandre Rossoz, which is the CEO of Loulou Group. We also have together with us Elodie Carpentier, which is the founder of Rouge FRANÇAIS, and Oonagh, which is a cosmetic brand, a French cosmetic brand, and Oonagh Mackenzie, you are the director of Barnes Chamonix agency. And then I would like to introduce myself. I'm the founder of Luxus Plus, which is a publication dedicated to the luxury industry. And it is an online, a web magazine, but it is also a printed issue, which is a lifestyle issue, luxury lifestyle issue. And so it was a few introductions before we start speaking about our topic. So Alexandre, I would like maybe to start with you and ask you if you could introduce rapidly yourself and tell us a few words about you and Loulou Group, and then tell us how the pandemic has affected the way you think about the customer experience from your point of view.
Sure. Thanks, Claire. Hi, everybody. So I'm the Director General of Loulou. So we are we're managing a restaurant under the brand Loulou. The first one was set up in Paris in the Louvre Museum in 2016, and then we opened a second restaurant in Saint-Tropez, actually in Ramatuelle, and we're going to open the third Loulou restaurant this winter for the winter season in Val d'Isère. And so the idea and the vision is to develop a brand across restaurant projects in France, in Europe, and across the world, and I mean and target the hotspots of our clientele. So our clientele live in Paris, London, New York City, Dubai, and during the winter season they go skiing in Val d'Isère, Courchevel, maybe Chamonix or Grand Montana, and during the summer season they go to Ibiza, Mykonos, Saint-Tropez, and so that's where we want to be and create a different kind of experience. Even if it's still the same brand, we will of course adapt the experience. So to come back to your question, how the pandemic affected the way we think about customer experience. Actually, I think it reinforced the fact that there is a need for an extraordinary customer experience in the restaurant. And I think that, I mean, all the major restaurant brands will tell you the same thing, that now when you go, and I will only probably talk about what I know, which is restaurant. When you go to a restaurant, it's not just about, having a meal, but it's about what you're going to see in the decor. It's about what you will eat, of course. It's about who you will meet, the people you're going to see, the eye contact you're going to make with the people sitting just next to you. It's about the way you're going to be served, and that's really like the global experience. And I think we clearly experienced it during the during the pandemic. A lot of restaurants try to go online and use the only thing which was possible at that time, which was delivery and takeaway. And I don't know, maybe you will agree with me, but I think, and I was one of those clients, but a lot of clients were disappointed by, even if they were ordering in very good restaurant or restaurant that were frequent customers, they were very disappointed by the result. And I was one of those customers who experienced taking delivery with some of my favorite restaurants, but when I was at home, it was like so different from what I was used to. So what we learned from the pandemic is, the first thing, we decided not to go online, and we didn't do any compromise on customer experience, because our vision was that when you come at Loulou, customer experience, it's part of all what I mentioned earlier. And if you want to go online, you will make a compromise on the overall and the global customer experience. So that was the first thing. And I think we challenged that decision for hours with my partners. On the morning, we said, okay, we need to go online and we need to be on delivery. And the evening, we said, no, it's not possible, because this is really not Loulou. So that's probably the first thing. And it made us think about, what was the brand and what was the brand about when you're talking about a restaurant brand. And clearly it was clear that our mission was to make sure that our guests can live enjoyable moments in exceptional places. So this is really, like, when I say experience is at the heart of our business, I think that, we decided to put it in a mission. And yeah, we really want to make sure that Loulou, it becomes a place for the friends of Loulou who wants to be there, get together, and experience and live the Riviera experience. So clearly, that's how the pandemic affected the way we thought about customer experience, and why we clearly think that it reinforced the way we should think about customer experience.
Thank you, Alexandre. It is quite interesting to see how you decided to go on the contrary of most of the restaurants, and to see also that in hospitality, sometimes technology can lower the experience in a certain way. So that's why I would like to continue with Elodie. Elodie, maybe you could introduce yourself first, explain us also what is Le Rouge Français exactly, which is a quite young brand, a cosmetic brand. And then you can also tell us from your point of view, because we are going to see why the organic and vegan design of your product is important for your clients. And we are also interested to understand better if your customers are receptive to new technologies, and on which ways they are. Could you?
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Claire, for this introduction. So I'm Elodie Carpentier, the co-founder of La Maison Le Rouge Français. So Le Rouge Français, in terms of mission, we are really in a mission of sublimate the woman with makeup brand and makeup products with a worldwide innovation. So we developed internally with a long R&D an innovation with the color, because our makeup are made from vegetal pigments. So it's what we call dyeing plants. So currently all the makeup that you are using are made with pigment coming from petrochemie, so from synthetic and chemical ingredients sourcing, so not sustainable. And when you are an organic or vegan brand, and really more with clean beauty formulation and natural formulation, it's coming from mica and minerals, which is controversial ingredients in in the meantime and nowadays, because it's not sustainable and also for ethics issues, we decided to develop alternatives. So the vegetal coloring is really a sustainable solution that we have. And in fact, our product started with collection of lipstick, which is a more difficult product to formulate in the makeup industry. And we developed this innovation in 19 shades. And now we developed a full makeup brand with also the eyes collection with mascara, eyeliner, and blush also for the faces, and nail coming by the end of this year. So Le Rouge Français is really a luxury brand because we developed it different distribution channel like luxury hotel. We are in Phuket, Le Phuket Champs-Élysées in the spa. We are also in Shangri-La and Marignan hotels, Champs-Élysées. And we have more than 50 now shop and distributor in France. And our next challenge is also to develop it to, in an international way. You can also discover our product in Cartier Place Vendôme, because we have our own showroom in this really luxury place where you can discover and travel through the dyeing plants because this innovation is coming from ages. The Queen Cleopatra already using dyeing plant to sublimate her lips in the past. So we are really inspired by ancestral culture. And it's true that this universe and also our really innovative technology can be shared with our customer through digital, through innovative technologies, new breakthrough technologies. So to answer to your question, Claire, concerning how, in fact, our customers are sensitive to this channel of communication through these new technologies and can get our message, it's true that we develop like a digital positioning with the discovery of this vegetal universe in our showroom with some workshop, but also in digital through reality, virtual reality, where you can get into the field, you can touch virtually the different ingredients, how the organic ingredients are made, are cultivated, because we are really here on Dyeing Plant in the promotion of regenerative economy. You can also really discover our product as customer in a digital environment through the social network. So in Instagram or Facebook, where we developed a reality filter where you can test the different shades. We developed that application internally, and it's helped you really to decide on if you want to buy the product and which shade will be the best for you. And also in terms of technology, it's not only the formulation or the story of the sourcing of the ingredients, because here you can see our packaging that's opening like a flower. So it's like origami, and you can discover the lipstick in the flower. And this lipstick, it's also a case, a luxury case made with a breakthrough innovation with castor oil. So this new tech, it's a biotech process that we developed. So it's biosourced ingredients. And we share this process, this history, and the label, so certification with our customer on the packaging. And this is really what the customer can discover through, for example, a QR code to really discuss with the customer on the process that we have developed, and then they can learn on it. So new tech is really applicable for luxury and to really communicate on sustainability universe and also our commitments.
Mm-hmm. So this is interesting to hear you, Elodie, and to see how technology can serve ethics and biotechnologies and all the value finally that your customers are sharing through your brand and beyond your brand. So I would like maybe to continue with you, Oonagh, because you are, as I said just before, director of the Barnes agency in Chamonix. Maybe you can tell us a few words about you and of course about this brand which is internationally known for real estate, which is Barnes. And maybe you can also tell us how technology and what can help you, but more generally, maybe you can start telling us what are the challenges you are facing today to improve your customer experience.
Okay, no problem. So I'm Oonagh Mackenzie. I have been working for Barnes for 3 years now, and prior to that worked for another agency in the Alps. And before that, again, I was in finance in London. So our clientele tends to be, in the past, it had been a lot of British clients, British international, so a lot of Dutch and Belgians and Americans. But obviously with COVID, that market dried up somewhat. So we had to come up with new solutions. Fortunately, the French were they woke up to the fact that Chamonix, unlike other resorts, lives year-round, has a very strong all year-round presence, and a lot of people have decided to move here from Paris, from Lyon, from London, and because they've been able to work from home. So we've had a bit of a boom in the market over the COVID's been very good for us, put it that way. We have done visits in on site, but we've also done visits using the usual methods of virtual tours, FaceTime or WhatsApp tours, and we sold a lot of high-end luxury chalets without ever visiting, without the client ever even visiting. They have bought large chalets on the basis solely of our virtual tours, and we only saw them the day they came to sign the acte de vente. So we had to be fairly innovative. There's a lot of competition in the market, so we've had to come up with ways of gaining the client confidence, because what we pride ourselves on here is actually following the client all the way through, from when they first start considering a purchase all the way through to actually buying, and then often beyond. There's many clients I'm still dealing with now, they bought 3 years ago. So we try and keep in touch with them through all the methods, but we had to spend a lot on technology in order to optimize the experience for those clients.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Oonagh. Because what is interesting also to say maybe is that contrary from a restaurant, maybe, and go to dinner, or maybe buy a lipstick from Le Rouge Français, for example, investing in real estate is something very important for a client. So this is why maybe the experience, in a certain way, technology must be important when we don't have any other choice, but maybe we can say that the physical experience is most important than everything in real estate. You would say that also, even if in
I would have said that until COVID. I would definitely have said that I would never have believed that we would sell the chalets we've sold this year without visits, without them even seeing it, without getting a feel of it. I mean, you can go close up on everything you want in a chalet, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't. You don't get the feel of the chalet, and yet people have been buying. But I think there's a lot of valeur refuge. There's a lot of placing money, so that with the uncertainty in the current economic climate, I think there's a lot of people just placing their money. And as long as it looks sort of okay, they don't really care.
Of course. But anyway, we just thank you. But we said, Alexandre, just before when we discussed about the experience you wanted to provide to your customer, you clearly explained that some things could not be changed by technology. For example, the physical contact and the direct contact with the customer. However, how would you say that you perceive the new technologies? Because you said that there are some services you cannot propose online and you don't want to propose online. So how do you perceive technology that are emerging and becoming more and more important in your field in particular?
I think there are two different ways, or I would say two different families of new technologies. The first one would be the one that the client can see and experience directly, and the one that the clients don't see, and still it enhances the client experience. For example, just to make it concrete, for example, the first one is, all the apps you can find. You can read the menu through a QR code. Now you can also ask for the bill, pay and divide the bill among the guests directly. So you no longer wait for the bill, or for the waiter to come back with the credit card machine and etc. So that's the first kind of client experience. I mean, that's the first family of new technologies that can improve customer experience. Probably that's true in certain type of restaurant, when you need to turn the table very quickly, when clients are in a rush to have lunch. You don't want to lose time waiting for the waiter to come back with the bill, and then he has to go get the credit card machine and then come back. So that's useful in certain kind of restaurant. Typically, and it's not because we don't like to do things like the other, but that's something we decided not to implement at Loulou, because we are convinced that having the waiter who's going to welcome you at your table, give you the menu, that is part of the steps of service we want to maintain physical. It's a way to welcome you, it's a way to serve you, it's a way to ask what you want. And the other thing is that you don't want to have all your customers looking at a smartphone when they're all around the table, because otherwise nothing happens in the restaurant. There is no energy, there is no vibes, there is nothing. Like, you're going to have all your customers looking at the smartphone like that. So that's why we decided not to do it. And I do understand in other type of restaurant why it could be useful. But what we did actually we did it during the COVID and during the pandemic when everything was closed, is if we want to use technology to improve customer experience, we need to be proactive. We need to be proactive toward what the client wants, who is the client, and be able to anticipate their needs. So that means we digitalized all the telephone lines. We created a specific way to address the VIP clients. So now when the VIP clients call, they are on top of the line, so they no longer wait for minutes, before the hostess can pick up the phone and answer. We have the Cardex and all the the data on the client. When the client calls, we are able to know who is the client, what is favorite table, what he likes eating, etc. So as soon as he calls, the hostess can pick up the phone and say, "Oh, hello, Mr. X, Mr. Y. Happy to have you back. When do you want to come? I keep you your favorite table." And same when they arrive in the restaurant, we are able, to recognize them, anticipate what they like. If they are wine lover, then we can offer them a specific selection of wine. So that's how we use data. I mean, this is not rocket science, but this is how we use technology and data to proactively anticipate clients' demand, their needs, their demands, and what they like. And we also, last thing, just to give you something concrete about that, we also created a web app dedicated to our VIP clients, so dedicated to the friends of Loulou, so that they can, in a seamless way, book a table and come there. Because where we struggle, but that's our point, but where we struggle at Loulou is with the bookings, because we have a lot more demand than tables available. So we just try to, for those clients, give them a simple and seamless access to table booking, and how we can guarantee them a table every day if they want to come. So that's the kind of thing we implemented during the pandemic to improve the customer experience. So that's what I would call, the kind of thing that client does not necessarily see. It's not like direct, but though it clearly enhance the client and customer experience.
Mm-hmm. So when I'm listening to you, I'm under the impression that actually technology is here to prepare the experience in your activity, but also to finalize after the experience the relationship with the client. But actually we are I'm fascinated by the way that you are explaining us that during the experience itself, actually the contact is more important than ever beyond technology. So that's why my next question is for Elodie. I would like to ask you, Elodie, how can technology help you improve? Can help you meet your customer aspiration? What kind of aspiration do your customer have, and how can technology help you to meet this aspiration?
So I'm quite aligned with you on the assumptions that it's true that new tech could really help to prepare the experience, to put in a good shape the customer in order to receive an experiential event with physical contact and have really contact with the product, with the services that we delivered, and after it's coming back at the end of the value chain in the customer experience process. So if I can really give some example to you, it's true that in Le Rouge Français, we developed innovative makeup with the organic vegan certification with the worldwide innovation, which is the vegetal color. So our color are coming from flower, and it's true that it's not only a question of products. It's true that when you open the packaging, you have some emotion. You can feel, touch, look the different products. Here it's a mascara. You have the weight, the flavor, the looking, if it's luxury, and so on. But in fact, it's not only a question of products. The customer aspiration are also on the experience, on services. So the digital and physical are complementary, and we need to find a good balance for it. At the beginning of the experience, it's true that as we are certified last year and this year as a French Tech DNVB, Digital Native Integrated Brand, we have a good presence on social media and on our websites, shopping websites, and people are connecting with us through this channel. And also same for distributor. They are really numeric and digital oriented. So this is the first contact. And here you can test your shade, as I told you, through a different filter on Instagram. We also have a new trend that's coming in France, which is really booming. It's the shopping live. And you know better than me, the influencer network in France is more and more strong, but now it's really what we call KOL, so the key opinion leader, and these KOL are like commercial people, really business oriented. And it's not live that we are used to made in the past and before COVID on pedagogy, to educate our customer on our value, to commit, to communicate on your value, to share our value with your customer. And to explain maybe the scientific part of our products and certification and packaging process and so on. Now it's more services to really exchange and like consulting services in shopping live, where the commercial, it's really commercial oriented, where you sell the product, but you also take into consideration the people, their feeling, how they want to select their makeup, links to their fashion clothes and their emotion. Maybe they want like a red to inspire them to be more confident as a woman. Or maybe they just want to have like a really nude and natural makeup for the daily activities. So it's not only about products, it's more about services. We developed also in the digital part, like experience on, like fashion show. You saw really recently with the Parisian Fashion Week that more and more défilé and fashion show are digital now. And for makeup brand, it's also an opportunity to interact with our customer, with really the co-founder, because as indie brand, we are really close as co-founder to our customer, and to really integrate the value and to share the value with people, but also with model and the different women that will wear the makeup, and makeup artists. So like the expert that can share consulting services with our customer. And we are close to them, answering to their chats during this live and during the fashion show. So it's really close interaction. You also want to be close to your customer through your products. Now you have technologies that you can put in your primary packaging, or even on the secondary packaging with QR code or the RFID technologies, where the customer can really scan the code in their daily routine in the morning when they are in their bathroom, and they can get some services or offer, or maybe to share a new event, new story, or to learn how to make a natural makeup for today, and tomorrow when you flash the same code, it will be a new content. So it's really updated through all along the way. So you really keep close to your customer through this digital innovation. So I must say that technology is maybe our future, I don't know, but it's true that it's not only a question of being already, let's say, ever connected to your smartphone. As my colleague said, it's true that the physical interaction with the people and the product are also important. Even in makeup and natural makeup, it's adapted to your shade and to your skin color. So you need to test the makeup anyway. So physical showroom are still important in the balance.
When I'm listening to you, I'm realizing actually how personal and individual is the experience of trying or using a lipstick. When I compare this experience, for example, with the experience of going to a restaurant, which is something that you can share with some other people. Trying a lipstick is something very individual and personal. And on the other way, I also understand that inspiration is something very important, and technology must help in a certain way to inspire your customer and share values, something which is quite intangible. So that's why I'm just wondering, and this question is for Oonagh, how do you intend to develop the relationship with your customers, and how maybe more than making them visiting, like you said before, through screen the apartment, for example, or the house they are going to buy. How do you intend to develop this relationship, and can technology help you in a certain way?
Well, what we found we were doing, we sort of stripped everything back, because during the first confinement, obviously no one was able to travel, no one was able to do anything, and to be honest, no one was thinking about buying chalets. They were just thinking about surviving on a day-to-day basis with their kids at home, trying to teach them and work. So I think once it became summertime, people were more interested. So what we did during that time was we have brought on board a new CRM system, so that we'd call our clients, we'd note, take proper detailed notes about what they really want, about what their family situation is, about where they have other homes, because that enables us, and as Barnes International, to have a full 360-degree view of what our clients are doing. And then hopefully it guarantees that when they decide to sell one of their houses elsewhere in the world, that they come through us. So we've now got real sort of découverte client on each client that calls us. We ensure that, whereas previously we might just have sent an email and said, oh, there you go. Now we literally call them, make sure that every detail is noted, so that, you know, from a point of view of even, you know, so that our colleagues can work on the same clients if necessary, without there being any dip in the level of service that they expect from us. So we've really focused on improving our knowledge of our clients during this time, and I think that's why we're seeing it pay off, because once you have their trust, you can, you know, you have the trust, you've completely understood what they're looking for, then they're more willing to take the leap into a WhatsApp call to see what the chalet looks like, because they know that you know what they want, and they trust your advice, and that's what we've worked on the most.
Well, actually, something that should be, I can imagine, quite in a certain way more difficult maybe than for hospitality or for cosmetics, is that when you buy a real estate, or when you rent an apartment, for example, it is something which is not every day, I would say. It is something quite I would say exceptional, maybe, in a certain way, I would say. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe making this relationship, maybe developing this relationship, is in a certain way more difficult, and that's why you're telling me that you're registering more information, many information that can be helpful. So I'm just wondering if it is not challenging you more than any other sector. This is actually what I'm thinking about. Maybe you will tell me no, yes, I don't know, but I'm under the impression that for you it's a real challenge to maintain this relationship. What would you say about that?
I think in general, it's one of the things that we sort of pride ourselves on. We've got a whole training in place, the Excellence brand, and we are trying to keep everyone on board with what we want to do. That's another thing that we did during confinement, is we put in place an excellence program, so that every single agent who works with me and in the entire Barnes group has the same attitude towards their clients. I think for us, I think we've been quite lucky. I think compared to, if I compare it to restaurants in town, where as Alexandre said, it's very difficult to get takeaway food from a Michelin-starred restaurant. It's frankly depressing. Nobody wants it. And I think it's probably a lot harder for them. If someone wants a chalet, they want a chalet, and they don't care. But it is the customer contact that is the most important. You can show them all the videos you want. You can show them, you can have a website that dances and sings and has maps and plans, everything on it. But unless they have a feeling with you, it's very much, it's an emotional purchase. And you have to have a relationship of trust with your clients in order to drive it forward.
Yes, of course. And Alexandre, from your point of view, how would you improve for the future? For example, how would you like to improve the experience of your customer in your restaurant? Do you have any project around improvement of customer experience?
Well, we do actually have every day. So it's there is no, I mean, we talked about the other project and different kind of thing we did around the CRM, around the way we can be more proactive and facilitate and ease the way they're going to book a table. Then it's a sum, and that's what makes probably a restaurant brand a little bit particular. It's a sum of things. So the way we're going to improve it is keep being creative on the uniforms, on the food, on, for example, we try to install, we are thinking about installing a piano at the first floor of Loulou to have live music. Maybe it's going to work, maybe not, but we definitely need to try. We're going to improve the step of service, the gesture, the way we're going to serve the bread, the way we're going to serve. The truffle season starts, the way we're going to serve the truffle at the table, all the gesture, all the way we're going to be in contact with the client. And that's part of the experience, and that's what we are working on. So that also means staff training, a lot of staff training sessions to make sure that all our steps of service are followed, because it's that sum, and it's probably, if you take it's not far from what Elodie mentioned earlier. When you open a product, a physical good, you have all these little things. So from the moment the client booked the table until he leaves, yes, we need to make sure that the client feel exactly like if he was at home. And we know him, we know what he wants. We're gonna create this atmosphere of service, and a real service, like a good way of things. Service is probably for us anticipation and elegance and chic. That's how we're gonna see it. So that's how we work on the step of service, the different gesture, and all that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
And keep. I would say last thing probably, because all this is like very strict. We need to entertain them, and what will make why they will have a good experience at Loulou, because we will have surprised them and entertain the client.
Okay, so this is quite. These keywords are quite strong. And that's why I'm also thinking that maybe anticipation is another key point for you. Anticipation, but also, as you say, entertainment, anticipation, entertainment. Do you think anticipation can help entertainment?
I'm not sure it's linked. I'm not sure it's linked. Anticipation is really, try to be proactive in the offer and in what you want to offer the client. and I mean, generate upsell. From a pure business point of view, it's probably a way to, you know, generate upsell, increase your average ticket, and make the client happy. And I'm sure, I mean, I'm sure the three of you have probably experienced it, but when you arrive in a restaurant, if people at the desk recognize you and you are with other guests, I mean, you already feel important. If you arrive at your table and we say, okay, we just keep your table. Do you want to have your favorite Burgundy wine or your favorite cocktail? You know, that's a way to, you know, make the client feel is important and unique. Entertainment is more about creating the vibe, creating the atmosphere, creating something that goes beyond only having a meal and going to a restaurant.
Yes, of course. Anticipation certainly is related to this feeling at home that you want to maintain. Also, it's something maybe more personal and individual. So that's why my question for Elodie is, how do you ensure that your brand is at the heart of the major challenge of digital acceleration? And do you think it can help in a certain way the relationship that you want to maintain with your customers?
Yeah, sure. So in terms of acceleration and to be always up to date in the next generation of processes to be close to your customer, we need to anticipate. We need to go through major challenges to be already at the top and excellence. I think that what is important is really to learn every day. It's a lean process. We need to improve ourselves, and I listen to my colleagues with the strong wording like excellence, chic, unique. They also mention excellence, and this word is part of our universe that we want to create. And to do so, we need to get onboarded with new trend, new technologies that we can develop to share experience and to satisfy our customer, to be best in class. And the idea in Le Rouge Français, as we developed breakthrough innovation in the makeup industry, where we have a lot of competition, we need to also collaborate. We need to partnership with other brands to be to be stronger. And the idea that we develop it's to be supported also by big brand. So we had the opportunity to develop collaboration with Opéra de Paris, or as I mentioned, luxury hotel and spa like the Phuket, where we are really committed to share a long-term journey with them. We also embedded L'Occitane and Melvita in our journey because we are close in terms of value in cosmetics. We also share and collaborate in the past with La Maison Molinard, which is a really famous perfume maison in Grasse. And the idea also to develop this collaboration with them, and also recently we had a collaboration with BMW. It's really to benefit from their technology, from their, let's say, digital acceleration, because they are big focus and they have huge budget appointed for this part. As we are really attractive for big brands through our innovation and sustainability, environmental commitments, we can benefit from them to this digital acceleration and their new technology. And it's always a question of communities. For example, in the digital universe, the more communities you have and the more you will have. So it's like effet boule de neige, you know. So it's important to collaborate to really increase and accelerate your visibility and notoriety to reach this value of elegant, chic, and to make our customer unique, to really be close to them, to enter alive to their question. So we had a strong consulting digital company, Les Causantes, that also help us in this journey. So they are managing our social networking or also our website. So it's important to collaborate with other brands, but also to have a strong partner internally and externally to support you. So they are in the panel of growth marketing company famous in the world. So it wasn't easy as a new startup to collaborate with this kind of a strong organization, but they really like our value and our innovation. So we had the opportunity to really develop strong relationship with this kind of partner. And yes, innovation is in our DNA. And as I said, we are a French DNVB, Digital Native Integrated Brand. So we can also offer them a visibility on a social network and to develop also, let's say, a common value to answer to the requirement, to the needs to our customer in this luxury and premium world.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting to see how collaboration between different brands from very different fields can help improving some aspects regarding also technological aspects, for example, because we could think that this kind of collaboration could be for marketing reason, for example, to get new clients. It can also, of course, and I think for most of them can be the key, the major objective. But this is also interesting to see this point with you. Oonagh, I would like to ask you also, how does the mountain real estate world aspire to offer a specific experience from your point of view? Because you're certainly proposing some experience to your clients that are quite related to your region in the Alps.
No, we're very lucky here. When I worked on the trading floor, I was selling things that people neither cared about nor really wanted. And I'm now selling people something that they don't really need, but they want. So in general, when they come to see us, they're in a good mood. They're wanting to se faire plaisir, and they want to treat themselves, and they want to be part of the whole mountain experience, which is growing in attraction, to be honest. So that part of our job is not so difficult because they already love the mountains. They're discovering the valley, and they're discovering the whole of the Alps, and they're half sold already. By the time they've made a trip, they're half sold already. So that's when it's the know your customer that is the most important thing about this job.
Mm-hmm. So this is something very seasonal, we would say. Well, we can imagine that your client, as you said, they were first international. Well, you said more international at least, and now you have more French clients. This is something which is quite that we can understand regarding the situation. And do you think that the experience that the French people are expecting is quite different from the others, for example, or do you think the client experience could be, from your point of view, quite changing regarding also the profile?
Well, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but the French are not renowned for their customer service. So it's quite nice to be able to challenge and to provide a service that is much more than they would ever expect, that follows them through, that makes sure they know which builder to use, which architect, that helps them on the entire process. And you actually build friendships as well as customer relationships. You build friendships along the way, and that's where we've managed to turn. That's one of the very good things about Chamonix, is it's because it's so international. You have lots of different cultures that have become one, and so as a result, you see service levels improving because the demand of clients is increasing. You've also got a different type of clientele who are now more, perhaps previously more Courchevel, now moving towards Chamonix. So they've got the they're used to a certain level of service which they experience in Courchevel and in Paris or in Saint-Tropez, but it's now coming here, and it's been quite interesting over the last 10 years watching the changes that have taken place. If I compare our market here in Chamonix to that in Megève, which was previously the luxury market, we have got a lot more clients who have bought in Chamonix this year than have bought in Megève.
So this is very interesting to see also all the changes that we are facing in general, and not only regarding technology. So I would like to thank you all for your participation. Repeating again, Alexandre, Rossoz, CEO, Loulou Group, thank you. Elodie, thank you very much for your participation. Elodie, Carpentier, Le Rouge Français, thanks also. And Oonagh, thank you for participating. Oonagh, from Barnes, we were also very glad to have you. I would like to thank also the Vendôm Compagny for welcoming us for this panel discussion, and the organization and all the team also. And finally, I would like to thank also all the participants who were with us today to discuss about this topic of customer experience and tech integration in luxury and hospitality. So I would like to wish you a very good day, and hope to see you soon for other adventures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.